Hi, my name is Lauren Bowden, and this is my NU in London digital storytelling experience. If someone were to have asked me where I would picture myself spending my first semester of freshman year at college, I would never in a million years foreseen myself studying abroad in a foreign country. Coming from the small town of Walpole, Massachusetts, a quick half-hour train ride to Northeastern's campus, finding out that I would be traveling to study 3,284 miles away in London, England, as opposed to the 25.6 miles I was originally expecting, threw me for quite the loop. The thought of leaving all of my friends and family behind for 3.5 months and immediately shipping myself over to a foreign country left me extremely overwhelmed and constantly second-guessing my decision to study in London at all. However, with Northeastern University giving me the opportunity of a lifetime to be a member of the NU in program offered to a very limited number of students, and with the knowledge that only 3% of all first-year students get to study abroad, I could not turn the opportunity down. With many sad goodbyes and a largely overpacked suitcase, I arrived at the airport ready to board the plane, taking me to my new home stationed in South Kensington. Upon arriving in England, I had never traveled outside the country before. I found myself basing my expectations off of movies featuring London, as well as stories from others whom had traveled here before. I was ready for tea time, double-decker buses, and Beatles mania. Given a week after arriving before classes started, we were able to explore the surrounding areas of our city, as well as adjust to our new routine. Part of this new routine required me adjusting into living with 3 other girls. Having never shared a room with anyone, I knew going from that to immediately sharing living space with 3 other girls would be an eventful experience. Another worry of mine that I had linked to traveling so far from home right from the start was making new friends. Having a very tight-knit group of friends back home that I have grown up with throughout the years, I haven't had to worry about starting the process over and finding that new circle of friends until now. Having heard my whole life that the people you meet in college will oftentimes be your closest friends and will make up some of the best years of your life, I couldn't help but feel anxious and homesick. However, in just a few short weeks, I found a group of people whom I knew I would consider to be my friends for not only this 3.5-month experience, but for years to come. As every new experience takes time, I slowly but surely found myself adapting to my new environment and routine. I was pleasantly surprised to find that my classes were all very entertaining, including several field trips providing us with the opportunity to travel all over London and visit a variety of art and history museums, as well as live gigs for my music and 20th century Britain class. After just a few short months of living in London, I found myself gaining the confidence and the independence to succeed on my own without relying on others. The things that had originally seemed extremely overwhelming upon arrival, such as navigating the streets of London and navigating London's established transportation systems involving the tube and buses, no longer bothered me and instead became a daily routine of mine. One of the tasks that fit into my weekly routine was the service learning placement I was assigned to fulfill as a requirement to the NU in program. My placement was located at the Arbor, a community organization in Tower Hamlets, which is a less fortunate area found in East London. The Arbor is comprised of a team of members who are devoted to giving local people real opportunities to discover themselves and to become inspired by and active in the world around them through leisure and educational activities, specifically aiming towards women, young people, and other members of the Tower Hamlets community. However, my volunteering primarily focused on the children at Ben Johnson's primary school. I quickly learned through the openness of the children themselves that many of whom attend this primary school have suffered some sort of major misfortune or trauma occurring in their past. This ranges from extreme poverty to physical abuse. I felt both uncomfortable and guilty that I was unable to connect to the children due to living a relatively privileged lifestyle thanks to my parents. However, seeing these children so motivated and so happy, even after going through life-changing events like having a parent in jail or one that sells hard drugs, has taught me to truly appreciate what I have and never take any of that for granted. Because of the lessons I have learned and the new perspective that I have gained from my volunteering placement, I would have to say this has been my favorite experience of the program. I am glad that I went into my service learning placement with an open mind, allowing myself to take away lessons that will stick with me for life, and I am so grateful that I did not immediately shut out the possibility of studying abroad in London for my first semester of college. With the friends I have made, the places I have explored, the culture I was able to soak in, as well as the many lessons I have learned about myself, will allow me to walk away from the NUN experience knowing that it was one of the best experiences of my life. The utmost truth regarding this experience is that if you allow yourself to keep an open mind about new and frightening things and truly allow yourself to emerge and evolve in what you are doing, you will be successful. I had the time of my life in London, as well as the many other places I was able to visit over fall break and weekends, and met some incredible new friends, all because I took the opportunity for what it was worth. Opening myself up to new people and new experiences whilst maintaining relations back home with friends and family allows me to leave London knowing that I have taken full advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that NUN London has handed me.